Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Millie, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have you here. And like I was saying about 5 minutes ago, I was screaming when you followed me back on TikTok. I don't know why, but you just seem like so out of reach. Because you do, like, you have such a niche. I want to start from the beginning. Where are you from? How old are you? Because this is kind of things that you don't talk about too much.
That's the thing. Like I try and I have my age in my bios because like folk can come younger than I am. So I'm 23.
Okay, you're same age as me.
I turned 24 this year.
Oh, when?
Actually, August.
November.
I'm a Leo.
I was Sagittarius. I don't
Bye.
really care about anything but my a Sagittarius. I don't know anything else.
Like I was like, oh, I'm a Leo, and the folk are like, I can tell. I was like, what does that mean?
what's that
like
fucking
I was
mean?
like, and then I was like searched up or like the characteristics, and it's like arrogant, self-centered. I was like, oh, like maybe I need to reflect.
Mine is just like angry, and I'm like, yeah, valid.
Oh, fair enough.
So you're 23,
Mm-hmm.
and you're from Ayrshire.
Yes,
And
East Ayrshire.
we just discovered that she's really close to where my family are from. My family are from Cumnock, and she was like, "What?"
That's actually insane. That happens like all the time. See, when I go to events, I say like, oh, I'm from East Ayrshire. You like, they'll be like, where are you from? And I was like, you'll know Ken. And like, no, just like saying, I'll say it. And they're like, oh, I've got like family there. I was like, no way. Like,
The
how
world
do
is
you actually?
so small,
No, literally.
especially Scotland.
Aye.
Everyone knows everybody.
Do you know? What's his name? Mark. He's the haha. Like that's so funny. Haha.
Yes,
Literally.
everyone keeps talking to me about this guy.
So like I like met up with him because we're mutuals, and then he's also from Ayrshire, and I was like, no way.
What
Like
the hell?
we need to like keep saying
Where are all
we're
the
from Ayrshire.
creatives come from?
But
from
folk can
Ayrshire?
come from Glasgow. Like folk think
I think
I'm
it's
from
because
Glasgow.
everyone either thinks you're from. Everyone thinks I'm from Edinburgh because of my stupid fucking accent. But I'm actually from Glasgow.
So that's like what happens with me. So like folk can come from Glasgow, but then I say like Ken, yes, and they're like, Glaswegians
Yeah.
don't say that. And
Yeah,
I was like,
Glaswegians
well,
don't
maybe
say
it's because I'm no
It's
Glaswegian.
because everyone just you're just from either two of those because people can't be arse thinking about anywhere else.
Literally.
Like-
But I think as well, it's like when you think about like the creative Scottish folk, it's like Glasgow, Edinburgh.
Yeah, that's so true. How does that feel though? Like being from Ayrshire and like everything's in Glasgow or Edinburgh.
Shite. Like it's awful shit. I think just because like there's so much travel then, because there was like no opportunities in Ayrshire. Like I've always seen myself as like somebody who wants to do creative stuff. There's no opportunities. Like there's your local theatre group, and you're like, you don't really want to do something like that. So it's just shit because you have to travel so much, and when you actually do get a platform and you're face somewhere else, folk are like, no. Like you're from Glasgow, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like the actual just don't believe you.
Yeah.
They'll just like make
Why
up
would you
lore about
lie?
you. I know, literally.
What do you have to like? Why would you lie about being from Ayrshire?
Like somebody was like, oh, I like you fake your accent, and I was like, oh, I'm from Ayrshire, and it's like, well, folk from Ayr don't speak that, and I'm like, no, it's not just Ayr that's Ayrshire. Like there is, well, I'm well travelled. I was like,
Well-travelled.
Like I say, like what has brought you to then go to be like, oh, do you know what? I want to speak a weekend in Cumnock. That's where I'm going to go.
I know, I'm like, who the fuck is spending a weekend in Cumnock?
Like I want to go to the Royal. I want to
Stop it.
experience.
Stop it. Yeah, honestly, who the hell's saying they're well travelled around Ayrshire?
Ayrshire's, I'm like, what? You went to Auckland just to see Rick Valley Buzz Cottage, and I was like, yeah, that's how.
literally.
Then went for a Woodies, went to the bar
I
after it.
love Woodies.
No, Ken was so weird though. See when you actually do see Ayrshire come up on your TikTok, you're like, that's so weird. Like folk are like, this hidden gem in Ayrshire, and
hidden gem in
it's the
Ayrshire.
cool shed.
It's
I'm like,
literally an ice cream shop, and it's like it's really not that hidden, like honestly. But I love when people do that. We Glasgow people that go out for a day, they leave Glasgow for literally a couple hours and like,
I know.
wow.
Like that's like I can't say anything. Like me and my pal travelled up to Glasgow to get matcha, and we're like, that's amazing. Like, this is
To get matcha.
made your day.
There's no way you're finding matcha on Ayrshire.
No, like good quality matcha.
Yeah, it's like the fishy stuff.
Aye, so like,
We're not getting it.
and I think like shops have just started selling matcha. That's where Ayrshire is. Like we're just starting to. It's
That's so funny. Well, how was it growing up there? Especially like you're such a creative person. So like, how was it? Were you like this in school? Like, when did your love for like getting creative start?
Well, do you remember video stars?
Mm-hmm.
So I like grew up in the countryside, so we didn't have like internet or anything. That's how bad it was. We didn't have internet. Like, so I would just like make video stars in my room, and then we ended up. I think I like would go internet when I was like I think I was like 14.
Mm-hmm.
And then like obviously started watching YouTube. But like none of my pals like was into any of this stuff. It was like more let's just go down to the park and hang about. And I was like, oh no, like why don't we watch like PewDiePie and the Annoying Orange? And like what the fuck is this? So just like late at night I'd literally just watch all these videos. And then like I think it was a makeup artist I used to watch, and then she used to do like that SFX makeup. And I was like, oh, I really like this. Like,
what's SFX?
Like special effects makeup,
Oh,
so like kind of like going and
makes
stuff.
sense. SFX. That would check out.
So I was like, oh, I want to do this. So
And how old were you?
I was like 14. So this is like when I started. I was like, I really wanted to do like I wanted to explore makeup, because I used to actually wear makeup as well when I was like 12 and that. Like I was like, oh, I love mascara and like kind of that like mousse. That orange.
Oh yeah, the Dream Matte Mousse. I love that stuff. I have really sensitive skin and I get eczema, and I would just smack that on top.
And then it was like that Fit Me Maybelline powder, you just drain your face
I
in.
was like dry, crusty.
Oh no.
Eczema flaring up, and I was like just sticking on like hydrocortisone on top. Like, oh, it was so disgusting.
It was so
I need to find a
bad.
photo of that because I was a riot.
No, I had a photo of me and I did like a wee glow up. Like me, I think I was like 14. And it's like, and I used to like just draw on eyebrows like
You need to send me this. I'm
and
putting
then
this
like
up on
folk
the
are like, your
screen.
actual luck, like 44 in this. I was like, oh, alright. But it's cause like you didn't know how to do makeup. But like I just started learning how to do makeup through like watching YouTube videos. I started making video stars in my room just for myself. I'd be like, come on, family, gather round to go watch me lip sync to a One Direction song that's been sped up. Like, this is honestly peak entertainment. So I did that, and then did like musical theatre in school.
And
how
was musical theatre in school?
Shite.
Oh really?
It was like so bad.
What
Like
school did you go to?
Walking like Academy, walking like Mention.
Yeah.
It's getting knocked in. Yes.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like we've got this, like the brand new super school. So it's like one of the biggest in Europe.
Huge.
I've not been in it yet. I was raging. I
I've
really
just
want to see
been
what it's like.
out and like about it. It's so, I cannot believe the crossovers we have. Like, what are the actual chances that we know like about? That's so.
We
mad.
probably ken somebody that's like,
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, a lot of my family still live in Cumnock.
they'll probably ken my family. They'll
That's
probably like,
so
do you know what I mean? Like,
mental. I'll be like, that girl from TikTok. I'll be like, oh, I know her.
but I like, so I did musical theatre like late in at school. I think I was like 5th year. I was like, fuck it. I mean, I've got 2 years left. Might as well do something else with my time. But I was also like so nerdy. Like I loved like Marvel, DC, like loved all the comics and that. And then it wasn't until lockdown I found out what cosplay was. I like even though actually
so
I think
that's
it was
quite
like
recent.
so like I think it was like actually like when I was at college I downloaded TikTok, so I had it before it was a thing.
What was TikTok before? Musically?
So see if you actually scroll right down. right
I
down.
honestly was trying to. You post so much.
I know.
I couldn't make it that far.
So right down, I've got one Musically video of me going like da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Stop. I'm
Oh,
gonna
it's
have
actually
to.
so
I'm gonna have to go
embarrassing.
find it. I'm gonna spend a couple hours scrolling through, but you do post a lot.
do.
So it's
I do
hard.
like I used to post all the time, like seeing lockdown posting constantly. 'Cause
You
I'd, like,
still do.
I don't post as much as I should. Like
Oh,
it's
really?
like because like you're meant to post. They say like once a day.
No, I've heard 3 times a day.
Oh,
Yeah, so I don't have the fucking time.
you know
for
you have
that.
to post more than 1 minute, and you need to make sure it's original content. You can't have any music. I was like,
yeah, no.
like so much is changing with TikTok. But it was when I was at college. I downloaded TikTok, and then I saw like a lot of other creators do cosplay, and I was like, oh my god, I like doing makeup that's like different characters. So I want to do this. So then I just started doing it. This is while I was like learning to be a nursery teacher. So I was getting my HNC.
You were learning to be a nursery teacher.
I'm a qualified early years practitioner, guys.
What?
I was
No
living a different
way.
life. I was meant to go to uni and do my BA in childhood practice. Obviously, it didn't happen because.
And now you're cosplaying as Lord Farquaad.
See, trying to tell that to my mum, like I wasn't going to uni to do this.
Oh my god, stop.
Didn't go well.
Oh
Did
my
not
god.
go well.
Okay, right, so you downloaded it in college. You started to get into cosplay. And like what was your first cosplay? When did you
So it was like
when did you
Harley Quinn. It
practice?
was literally on my bedroom floor. I remember it. I had to use like my lamp as a ring light. Like my old content is so cringy, but I love it. Like I do love it though. Like folk are like, oh my god, remember you used to do this, and I was like, I still
But
eat. Like, do you know
I
what I mean?
love that. Be
Literally,
proud
like,
of it.
I actually like folk. I had like a really viral video back in like 2019, and folk comment, do you remember this? And I was like, I love it. Like, I literally,
Yes,
like,
slay!
actually, like, I would still do this now. I'm that petty. See, folk are like, do you remember this? I'll be like, I'll bring it back. I will
What do you
bring
do?
it.
You remember this? Yeah, I did it.
Literally, like,
I
I'm
literally posted it on the internet. Of course, I fucking
900k
remember.
likes. Of course, I remember that video. But so like,
It was Harley Quinn the first.
it was
one.
Harley Quinn, but it was like I bought a wig and I just did like the kind of like the iconic makeup,
Yeah,
the blue
yeah,
and the
yeah.
red.
That's
And
a
then
good way
go-
to start off though. Harley Quinn's like,
I love Harley
iconic.
Quinn,
She's
iconic. So then I
incredible.
did Poison Ivy, and then I did the Joker, and like they did kind of well. But I was still in like college at the time, so obviously you're kind of meant to keep your account on like a down low because obviously you're working with kids. So
of course,
you can't have
of
like
course.
anything. So
I didn't even think of that.
So I was
Imagine them being like, "Is this you?"
so my username used to be Millie. So I was like, I can't have this.
Is that
Can
why
I?
you changed it?
So I was like, and I was like, oh no, what if like folk I used to go to school with found out I did this? Gonna lose my street cred. I can't have this. Like they can't know what day this stuff. So I was like, I need to find a new username that like I'll like. So I love Green Day. Like I'm obsessed with Green Day. And then they've got one of my favourite songs, Whatsername. So I was like, oh, I could kind of like play with this because I feel like it'd be cool as well if folk were talking about me and like, oh, who you talking about? Or like, wait, what's her name again?
I thought that
Literally.
that's why you did it.
So a lot of folk think that's why I did it. I feel like I just
I
like,
was like, that's really cunty. Sorry, I'm
Like,
gonna have to bleep that out.
I actually
But
love
it is.
having like a username, and I think as well it was like folk always forget names, so like folk can't feel bad if they forget my name because I actually don't have it displayed. They can
Because
just
it
be
took
like,
me a while to figure out your name was Millie.
I need to go. Well, I try and like no, sometimes I say my name and they're like, wait, your name's Millie, and they're like, you
Yeah.
don't look like a Millie. I was like,
What
oh,
does that even
like
mean?
I'm
Do I look like a
intrigued though,
what's her name?
like, literally. But I think like because I don't have like a name, I'm always known as, oh, you're that lassie that dressed up as Lord Farquaad. You're that lassie that does the Shrek stuff. And I'm just
The
like,
Shrek stuff. That can be like that could be taken way out of context.
No.
You're the one that does the Shrek stuff.
I was at Transmit and this guy goes, you're that bird that dresses up into it. I was like, aye, that's me. Like, I've just done it with my wee sister. I was like, that was such a weird, like, cause that's the thing, they'll just like look at you because they don't, I think because like some folk only recognise me for my cosplay. So they'll look at me and they're like,
They're trying to like figure out.
I don't know if
They're like,
that's her or no. Especially when I'm working. Obviously, I've got a customer service voice. I sound totally different. I'm like, hi, folks, are we sitting in today? And then it's awful. It's so bad. So
oh
they're
my
like,
god,
I don't know if
but
it
it's
is
so
her.
true. The accent changes. The accent changes.
literally.
And like you're so upbeat. You're like, what can I get for you guys? How are you?
I don't know like why I do it. I don't know why.
I think
like,
it brings in the tips for a start.
literally.
Makes you look good. If you went over being like, what you wanting? It's not.
So
gonna get
that's
you anywhere.
another thing I found. See, when I was in London, like, because I go to London quite a lot for like Comic Con. See your tone. Folk think you're being off aggressive. Like they actually think
People
like
think
you're-
that I'm aggressive.
I'm
I
like,
don't even have a
oh,
strong
like-
Scottish accent.
and I feel off a bad. I'm like, wait, do I? Like, and then I
No,
need to,
you
like,
don't,
but
babe.
then like I found out it's like just folk think that we are actually so aggressive.
They think that we live in like hay bales.
no, literally.
They don't know what the hell goes. You know what? I was on holiday last week. I met a man who doesn't know what Scotland is.
oh no.
And I went, do you know the UK went, yeah, England. Oh, doll. Oh, babes. Are you for fucking real? And I was like, you know what? Just get out of my face. And then he also asked me if he would be like a good mosquito because I had mosquito bites all over me. And I was like,
Oh,
please leave me alone, please.
Oh.
I feel uncomfortable. But anyway, sorry, we've gone completely off track here. Let's go back to you starting it. So you were trained to be a nursery school
Nursery,
teacher,
so-
which is mad. So you were trained to do that. You got into cosplay and you told your mum, I want to do this.
So what happened was I was still meant to do it. So then lockdown happened. So I was working in a cafe, just qualified. And then I lost my job and I had nothing to do. And obviously we couldn't go anywhere. So I was like, so I think I had like 300k at this point, and I wasn't posting regularly because I was studying.
But also
And then-
cosplay takes a lot of time.
It's like so time consuming.
Yeah.
That's like somebody was like, you've no cosplayed in a while. So I checked, I've no cosplayed in like 4 months.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll get into that.
So I was like, I lost my job. I had nothing to do. So I was like, oh, I'll start like making more videos. And somebody asked where I got one of my wigs for, and I was like, oh, I got it for like this one for like Webster's wigs. And like, you're Scottish. I was like, where did you think I was for? And like, oh, I thought you were American. And I was like, we can't help this. We need to let people know that I'm Scottish. So nobody knew that I was Scottish.
To be fair, I can understand why, because cosplay is just not a thing here. It's so big in America.
And I was
when
just
I think
lip
of
syncing,
cosplay,
so it's like folk are just taking it for what I look like.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I need to change this. Like, what kind of content can I make? So I just started making. I was obsessed with Alexander Hamilton, like Hamilton the musical, and then I found out his dad's for Ayrshire. So I know it's insane.
What?
Aye. So I was like, oh my god, what if like Hamilton had like a Scottish accent? So that's how I started like making speaking videos, and they just like blew up. Like the actual were like going viral.
And that
like,
was
crazy.
during lockdown.
This was during lockdown, so like this is when I gained like a lot of following, and then this management was like, you can make money for like doing like sponsorships and like brand deals, and I was like, well, this sounds like a good idea. Like I could maybe make money now because I'm making fuck all the now.
Yeah.
So I started doing that, and then I was like, oh, I've always wanted to be in a creative job, and like as much as I love nursery teaching and I'd love to continue to do that, I was like, this opportunity I've got the now will only happen the now. I'll not get this in like 10 years, where in 10 years I can go back and do primary teaching.
You've
and
got
do,
the backup.
Like I've already got that backup. But obviously, see, trying to explain TikTok to folk who don't care what TikTok is, no.
Parents, to honestly see me telling my mum, right, this is so niche, right? Basically, my mum's French, right? And she's from this tiny village in the south of France, like completely lost. Like I'm talking like something at a Disney film. It's amazing. But all my French family live there, basically. And this summer, I was supposed to work in the village creperie.
Oh.
I was supposed to work in the village creperie because I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not staying in Scotland anymore. I'm over this. Like, there's nothing creative here, blah, blah, blah. And so I was going to live in my village for 3 months. My village has no public transport. I don't drive. I was going to have to rely on
like a bike or something. Like coming to like actual
the nearest supermarket is a 20-minute drive up a cliff. It is stuck in the middle, and we're in a valley. Like, it's amazing, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I don't have a fucking car.
Aye.
And also my ex-boyfriend, who's psychotic as fuck, was going to be there as well. So yeah, we were in a really sticky situation. I was going to be staying there by myself. Like, I obviously had my family, but like, I would need my pals and stuff. So like, I kind of had like a breakdown. I was like, I'm going to France for 2 months. Mum was like, that's a great idea, Gabrielle. That is so good. You're going to have so much fun, blah, 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 blah. And like, things were starting to pick up with the podcast, and I was getting more shifts at the BBC, and I was like, fuck. And my mum was like, are you excited? And I was like, yeah. And it just kept getting closer and closer and closer. And then I was speaking to my boyfriend. He was like, I'm not saying this because I want you to stay, but like, you have so much going on right now. Like, it would be stupid for you to leave now. And I was like, you're right. Tell my mum. She disowns me for like 2 months.
Oh.
It was like horrendous. It was horrendous because she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it.
Don't, like, that's the thing. Like, I tried to show my mum my TikToks, and I was like, me dressed up as Lord Farquaad. So obviously, like, it comes from like a place of safety. Like, I get that. I think as well, it was like coming from like wee village mentality.
Yeah.
Like, they just want you into a secure job. But I'm like, I'll be so depressed if I like don't like follow this. Like, this is what I want to do. And that's the thing. Like, I remember saying I was doing early years as much like I loved it. See, like, I had to like work 2 days a week, 2 days in college, and then 3 days in placement. I was like, I couldn't do that no. But then I remember how fucking depressed I was when I was doing that.
Yeah.
So I was like, this could be an opportunity where like I really, really enjoy my job, and I don't need to like overwork myself. So I can take this opportunity.
It is like, it's such a lucky job to have.
Oh, 100%.
Like, it's such a lucky job. And like, it's so difficult to explain that to like parents that just don't get social media. But honestly, God bless this girl, because my mum and I, like, even though things were like a bit weird between us, we went out shopping. This girl that was serving me recognised me in front of my mum, and I was like, fucking God. She's like, oh my God, I love your podcast. I love your TikToks. I was like, ah. And mum was like, oh, that's so nice. And she was looking at me like, okay, maybe she's actually on something. And then someone at her work, a young girl at her work, was like, I keep seeing your daughter's TikTok everywhere and I'm obsessed. And I was like, yes, the girlies are pulling through.
No, literally. So that like, I kept getting like makeup, like PR, and it was like another like Whatsername, and I was like, no way, this is crazy. Like, you're
Honestly.
just getting free makeup. like, you can give that to your auntie. I was like, well, I need to promote it. Like, she's like, what do you mean? Like, like, I'll promote these products if I like them and that. She's like, that's insane. That's
See,
crazy.
it's stuff like that, and it's like, okay. And I told her today, I was like, I'm interviewing a girl who's got 2 million followers. She was like, oh, that's incredible. And I was like, oh yes, it's tasting sweet now.
And
But
that's the thing,
honestly,
like when Martin Compson came to my house for the Scottish Flying series, like they were like, obviously the BBC had to like come over like on their camera and stuff, and like my
You're
dad's
like,
in the car
"Mummy,
next, he has to
move."
come. I know, they were like, no way the BBC are coming to our house, and I was like, yeah,
because of me.
'Cause of
Imagine I
me.
was a primary school teacher or nursery school
exactly.
teacher.
When they were having the BBC at our house.
Yeah, exactly. But
So-
it's moments like those where it's like that validation. It's like, see, I'm actually doing well.
Aye.
But I know what you mean. Like honestly, the idea of me going and like living alone and like working in a creperie for the summer, like I mean, it sounds like so idyllic, but I would be so depressed.
No, literally.
Like no car, like, and I feel like I'm being ungrateful because it's like such a beautiful place, but like. Not see my pals for like 3 months, not see my boyfriend for like 3 months, not speak
couldn't
to
do
anyone
that.
but my French family who are religious as fuck for 3 months.
Like, I want to be one of the folk be like, oh, I can just like go to a remote island and just like log off.
I
It's
can't.
not me.
I'm chronically online.
Same.
Sue me.
I see these folk that say they can do it and they're saying this while in
While-
TikTok
while
comments.
doing a
It's like, mate,
TikTok.
I'm sorry.
You're a liar.
You'll know it. It's
We
not
all
happening.
love social media.
Again.
Stop saying that you hate it.
Like, you need to just admit it. You need
love
to-
it. I love TikTok. I do. I fucking do. I'll spend hours on there. I
love
know it's not
memes.
good for me, but I don't give a shit. It makes me laugh. I get a wee giggle out of it, and I put my phone down and I go to sleep when I'm happy.
Exactly. Sometimes all you need is a wee giggle. And TikTok gives you that.
It does. It literally does. And yours make me giggle as well. I do like yours, especially because your accent, it makes me laugh because I'm like, she's so Scottish. And there's so many people that are going to be watching that being like, what the fuck she's saying? I'm like, my girl.
So that's the thing. I didn't ken that Scots was seen as a language. So I just thought I was speaking slang. So I was just like, it was like, oh, you can't speak that, you can't speak like that. And then it wasn't until lockdown that I found out I do ken like Scots a language, like you've got Scottish English, and like I was like,
I just thought that was the way we spoke.
so I didn't, so
Oh.
Scots, I like a lot of like Ayrshire folk will use
Will
like
speak
theirs.
Oh, really?
Scots.
That's really interesting.
So I like didn't ken that, and like obviously like see when I went to Auckland like academy,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
all kind of like speak like this. I remember when we were having to go for interviews in uni, and they all sat us down and was like, so you need to learn to speak like more proper. And
Shut
that is,
up.
I see like now looking back at it, that is insane. That is literally insane that like we have kind of been made to think that we're just speaking like dirty English.
Yeah.
And like you think
Oh
it's
my
like-
God.
but see the thing is like you think it's just like maybe English folk that have that kind of like mentality. But it's
But
Scottish folk that
as
got
well.
it.
But
Like-
it's because we've been influenced.
Aye.
And they're like, it's not coming from like a bad place. It's because they want us to like fit in. But like, so I went to a private school, right? So they taught us to speak properly. But I also think, like, see, growing up with a French mum, I think I had to speak with like a toned down accent so that she could still understand me.
So
do you know
that's
what I mean?
another thing. So like folk will like say to me, just turn subtitles off, like turn your closed captions off so folk can just like learn to understand you. And I'm like, no, because English isn't can be some folks know their first language.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
yeah.
you need to
That's
realise like
mean.
I was like closed captions aren't they just because people don't understand me. Like
It's for
people
other
like,
people.
aye, like it's like to make it more accessible.
Uh-huh.
So folk like just turn them off, and I'm like, no, it's not how not how
Yeah.
it works.
So see, when you first started talking, when people were like people actually like shook because you do have a very strong Scottish
So I never
accent.
spoke this one. The first video that I made, I was like, oh, I can't speak this, but I say words, some Scottish words when I don't realise I'm saying it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was like I was speaking like this, and then I said seven instead of seven. So like it sounds so unnatural. Like if I was to say, oh, I seven, like it sounds more natural, like in my Ayrshire accent.
yeah.
But see if I'm trying to speak like this, and then I say seven or yeas, they're like, what?
But okay, put on like an accent that you would put on to like speak to people online. If they like, what was your accent when you first started making videos?
So I started speaking like this, and then also people kept comparing me to Outlander. So then I started rolling my R's a wee bit. So very cringy. But I was like so embarrassed by my Ayrshire accent that I didn't want people to know that I was from Ayrshire.
oh my god, that's freaky as fuck.
Right.
Oh my god, you sound quite like West Lothian.
It kind of reminds me, do you know Ariana Grande, kind of how like her accent, like how she
Yeah.
like speaks in a different accent now, and like how our voice is like higher pitch. She did a podcast and then she goes back into a natural one, and I was like, that's so me coded.
But do you think that you've changed your accent a lot to fit in with people? Like you said, like hospitality, but that's different because that's just you put on like a fake persona to like get tips. But like, do you think that you do change, like when you go down to London?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, really?
See, I can't be fucking repeating myself now. Like I've got to a point where it's like, because even sometimes I'd keep like even like my tone, I'd keep this, but I'd speak English, and people are like, sorry, I can't understand you. So I was having to repeat myself constantly. So then I was like, but I also didn't realise we pronounce our I's like E's.
Give me an example.
So I asked my pal if he's seen Six the musical. He thought I was saying something completely different.
But that just doesn't like.
So see if I say on TikTok and I go 666.
That's why it comes up like when I say the number 6, it comes up as 6.
It's because we pronounce our I's like E's.
But that just doesn't like. I mean, that just doesn't.
It doesn't click to us because like when somebody says like, oh, say 6, or you're saying 6, but an English person like that, but like, no, you're saying. It sounds like you're saying sex.
Do you know the creator Jilly, Isabella?
Yes. We became mutuals recently.
Shut up! I'm fucking obsessed with her. I actually. No, honestly, if she followed me, I'd actually probably pass out and piss myself.
But see, the thing is, when you become mutuals with somebody, I'm so good to
message. No, it's when you met, like when you followed me, I was like
I'm so fear. Like I don't know why, because I'm like I interact with folks' content, and like I'm liking it, but I'm like I'm too much of a shite bag to just be like.
No, honestly, I was shitting myself to reach out to you. And then you you read my message and I was like, oh my god, she hates me. And then you went and sent me a wee message on Instagram. It's sorry, I don't like messaging on TikTok. I was like, fuck. Thanks.
See, the thing is, it's because I don't know why my TikTok will say like, is this a safe message? Like it'll come up.
I get that.
So
well.
then it gets put into like a different
request thing.
I think because I also turn off all my. Can I always ask you to turn them on? Yeah. Messages, I just turn them all off.
Okay, well, I was very flattered when you reached out to me on Instagram again. But Jilly, she did a video on how when she went down to London and she was like telling people that her name was Jilly, and everyone was like, Jilly. And she was like, fucking Jilly. My name's fucking Jilly. And she was like basically saying like, I'm so sick of people not understanding my accent. But it's not that they don't understand, it's just because they choose not to understand.
Well, see, when I was in London, I think I don't know if I saved the photos. I think I did. Like, say when you would go to Starbucks and you'd order and they'd write your name on it, they'd always write Millie instead of Millie. So it'd be Melly. And I was like, am I saying my name right? So then I kept asking Siri, like I kept going like into Siri, like, Millie. And I was like, no, it's picking up that I'm saying Millie. So then I was just getting off it paranoid if I've just said the wrong name.
It's just
I've just said Millie.
But they're hearing whatever they want to hear. Sorry, we've gone on such a rant about like English people and their accents.
Love English people though. Love English people.
Love you, my little English fans. Right, back to cosplay. Right.
Yes.
So you tell your mum, you're like, this is what I want to do. She's like, are you fucking tapped in the head? And you're like, Mum, this is it. Like, I'm gonna do it. Can I ask? You can say no. How much money do you make from TikTok?
No, a lot.
Okay.
For like TikTok itself?
Yeah.
No, a lot. Like, I make, because obviously they've now introduced you have to make 1 minute content.
Yeah, I've seen this.
So I don't make 1 minute content, and I was refusing to like I would make an occasional 1 minute content, but folk follow me for my short form content. So I wouldn't be like, well guys, I'm not making money for this anymore, so I'm just gonna completely change the way. So I was like, I refuse to do that. Like I'll try and make more 1 minute content. So I think I made £20 last month.
Oh, okay.
Over the past 8 months, I've made like, sorry, there's a flea. That's really bugging me. A fly.
There's a fly.
Fly. It's when I say words that like other folk don't say, like farmer.
Farmer.
But
the thing is,
for your boots.
I can also understand because I've obviously got family from Cumnock, but I don't think like an average Glaswegian.
That's how I became really pally with Paul Black.
No,
so,
wait.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about that because I was like, do you guys have beef?
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, I see you next Tuesday. Honestly, don't even get me started on him.
Because I saw him like do something to your video, and I was like, why is he coming for her?
So this is so funny. This is actually hilarious.
Yeah, tell the story, and then we'll go back to actual
okay,
cosplay.
We'll go back. back. So I used to just sometimes make the occasional lip sync to a Scottish audio.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I want me like Scottish entertainment to get shown, so I'll just like lip sync to like Lemmy or Still
Love Lemmy.
Game.
Love
Love
Lemmy.
him. He reposted one of my lip sync videos.
Behave.
And then he was like, oh, like, love this or something like, and then the comments didn't like it, because I don't have Twitter, right? So it was like one of my pals that sent me it. So then I was like, somebody like, please let me into their Twitter so I can see the comments, because like I just want to see what folk are saying. And they're like, she's not even creative, like this is not, like, what the fuck is this? Like, and I was like, oh. And then my dad had Twitter and he's like, look at what all they're saying. That is terrible. I can't believe what they're saying. I was like, oh, it is
Also,
what it is.
Dad, please don't show me.
No, literally, like, I was like, oh.
My mum has been reading some, like, my mum doesn't even have, like, Instagram and stuff. And, like, she reads some of the stuff that goes on. And I'm like, how do you even read that? And she's like, these people, they're horrible to you. They're horrible. And I'm like, yeah, Mum, like, let's not bring attention to it.
No, I just avoid it. Like,
Yeah,
just, like,
I don't want to know.
I'm just like, oh, I'm
Say
so
what you
over it
want
now.
and also boost my video.
Literally,
Go up.
like, folk are like, how do you deal with the hate? I was like, I don't deal with it. I ignore it. Like, I actually don't.
I get a lot of incels, like so many incels. We'll get into that. Sorry, go back
Alright,
to Paul Black.
wait,
Sorry,
oh,
fuck me. Right,
Go
right.
into Paul Black.
Cosplay. Right, Paul Black, incels, cosplay.
Right, Paul Black. So I was making like lip sync videos, and then he saw that I was lip syncing to his like Glasgow video, and he's like, when are we lassies gonna stop like making videos that was something like that? And then like my following saw that and was commenting, how dare you say this about her?
I saw that and I thought, how dare
So
you?
I thought it was a joke. I was like, oh my god, Paul gets her. I'm like, Paul Black gets her. I thought it was like so funny. And then he DM'd me. It's like, by the way, just to let you know that was a joke. Like, I'm so sorry. I was like, mate, I think it's fucking hilarious. And I was like, I want to make a video though, like stitching it, saying like, oh, why the fuck are you calling me a wee lassie? Like, I'm literally 20 years old. If you want to, like, see this full Scottish boxing stuff we started to do, because I was gonna actually like fight him outside of Greg's. I was like, bring your mask because we've got COVID, but we will be scrapping for a steak bake. Like,
Bring your mask.
literally. But so like we started doing that, and then folk were kind of like clicking on, oh, like this is this real or is it no? But what's so funny is I used to work in another cafe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And me and Paul went to another cafe that was across for the cafe I worked in.
Mm-hmm.
And I love telling that story because it's the only exciting story I've got to be like, oh my God, like this is tea and drama. So I tell it all the time. But we went to another cafe, like we were out in Glasgow, and he like ran me home. So I was like, let's go to Grow Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So we went, and like somebody must have seen who we were or that, and like tell one of the lassies that I was doing promo for them, and I get fired for that other cafe because they thought I was doing promo for Grow Coffee. And I was like, oh, I wasn't, like, I can show you what's, like, she was like, get out, like, you, like,
what?
I was like, and like, I can't take folks shouting at me. I used to not be able to.
Wait, what?
Insane. Literally insane. So I'm trying to defend myself, but she's like, get out, like, get out. I'm cleaning dishes, and like the way the setup worked is that you had to like walk down like in front of all the customers.
Oh,
so I'm crying. I'm literally
Oh.
in tears. Doing like a walk of shame, like slow-mo walk that felt like. And I was like, no way, this has just happened. I phoned my mum and I was like, I've been fired for you.
Oh,
It's like I didn't, like, I was like, no way, this has just happened. Like, I could not believe it. So like my mum was fuming. My mum was raging.
yeah, you're like, honestly, mothers are like mama bears.
Like, and that's how, like, my mum's like, I've never seen my mum raging until like then. And I
but
was like,
that's insane.
insane.
Drop the cafe name.
See, the thing is, I'm so scared. I'm not going to, because I feel like I'm better than that. Like,
I'll
I feel
beep
like,
it out. I promise you, I'll beep it out. I'm not shit. Like, I'm not.
no, I
I'm
feel
not
like
shitty
I'm
that.
better than that now. Like, I feel like I'm not out it, but I'm out it. Like, I think if I seen her, I'd be like, see the way you treat me. Like, I made a video about it, and then so many of the younger lassies that worked there like DM'd me being like, she was the same with me. She was rude to me.
Right.
And then I
tell
found out.
me the fucking name. I'm gonna beep it out. I would
Okay,
never.
like, beep it out. Don't, please,
Babe, I
but,
promise I'm not shitty like that. Oh, wait, I think I know that one.
So yeah,
Should we go fuck up.
Like, oh, like that's what we said. Like my pal also used to work there, then he get fired.
Okay, so like this is not a you problem. This is
But-
a them
so
problem.
then I was so feared to make the video because I was like, oh, like what if like they were to like come after me, and then like I didn't know like how it would go, but obviously I didn't mention her name and that, and I didn't want to because I wouldn't want any harm to the staff that worked there, because like obviously like that's what I take into consideration. Like if I said anything about this place, then what if somebody like reacted to it? I don't want to cause any harm to MD, but the way I want her to see this video and know that she was an actual bitch to me. And then so I think it was like 5 folk messaged me after that I made that video being like, she did the same with me. I was like, off, I just want to.
But honestly, when you hear those sorts of things, it's like, I feel validated because it was not a me problem. She's a freak.
I was like,
Anyway, so that's how you and Paul Black met.
That's
and then
how
you
we
got
like
fired.
And then we met. We went to go
Paul
coffee, and I was like, it was so funny. I messaged him being like, I've got something to tell you. I was like, you got me fired from my job.
What did he say?
He was like, what are you talking about? Like he was so confused. I tell him, and he's like, that Disney sound real. Like an actual Disney sound real when you say that. Like, oh, you get fired for going to another coffee shop.
What the fuck?
But
okay,
we're over that.
We've ticked the box of Paul Black, so you guys don't have beef.
Don't have beef. We're cool.
Say that to the camera.
Just so don't have beef. We're best friends. We're literally like this.
Slay. And he's got a podcast
Paul
now.
Black messaged me back on our Instagram DMs. You've not answered like the last 3. JK. You were like, oh,
I was like,
tea. Like
I was like, tell me more. Whip them out.
No, I was just trying to set me our beef.
So, Paul Black, tech, incels. Tell me about the incels you have in your comments.
So I never really experienced it on TikTok because TikTok's quite like harsh with a.
Do you think? Because I've got people calling me like a slag, telling me that
Really?
telling me that my dad's dead. I'm like, thanks, I already know. Like calling me like a Tory slapper, a French slut. Like I don't know how. Honestly, I don't know what their guidelines are. And I also got told to like, I should be RAPE.
So-
And I reported it, and they said it didn't violate any of the guidelines, and I was like,
That's insane.
yeah.
So like I don't get it in TikTok. It's Instagram. I get it.
Yeah, Instagram comments are fucking wild.
Are insane. Like,
Wild.
I made this video and it was like a trend. You know that Megamind trend? It's like no bitches. Like that one.
Someone's online.
Literally, I'm like, do you remember that
I'm like,
meme?
I
And you're
don't even know that one.
No. So it's like,
I don't know that one.
Megamind meme. It's like, it goes like no bitches and it's him pulling her face. I was cosplaying this character and she's like, plays like card games and that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I pull out a card and it literally says no bitches. And that's it. Didn't like target it in men. See the comments? Insane. Like, so bad, so misogynistic. I was like, how are these actually allowed up? Like, I couldn't even repeat it. Like, it's that bad. And I was like, I've never.
And Instagram seems like the one that would be a safe place.
No,
But it's not.
No.
It's really not. Like I think Twitter's the worst. I think it goes Twitter,
So
TikTok.
I don't even have Twitter because like.
I refuse to be on Twitter. Like some of the horrific stuff that I've seen on Twitter, because like nothing is like censored whatsoever. Like I've seen like, I don't even know if I really should say it. I've seen like beheadings.
I feel like Twitter is
Fully. Like it's all sorts of like horrific stuff. And it's just crazy to me that people can still like spend their time on there. Like delete it. What's the point of it? It's not like, it's not even good. Like all you do is like write a sentence.
It's like X now, isn't it? Like it's.
Yeah, it's X now. And it's fucking Elon Musk. Why are you giving your... honestly, I could go on a fucking rant about that. Anyway, tight incels. That's our own done. But actually, that brings me into a question that I wanted to ask you. Do people fetishize you?
I did get like I did get the Scottish, like being a Scottish woman. Oh, 100%.
Really?
Never knew that was a thing. Like American men, obsessed with it. So crazy. Like I remember like this guy was like, can you please just send me like your voice, like, and I'll pay you this and this. And this is when I didn't have a job at the time. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll do it. It was just like to read a book. And then so like I was like, aye, that's fine. And then he was like, can I like phone you? And I was like Instagram messages, and it was like having a wank. And I was like, what the fuck's just happened? I felt so like, that's insane. Like, I felt so violated. I was like, oh my God. Like, didn't say anything, by the way. Like, wasn't even I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I genuinely don't know what to do. I was like,
what did you do?
Literally ended the call and then just sat in my room and just contemplated life.
That's awful.
Like, I was like 19 and I didn't know, like, I was like, that I didn't know like a lot about the internet, and I was like, oh, like, folk are alright and that. And then I was like,
don't worry, I used to sell pictures of my feet.
Fair enough.
Girl.
In this economy.
In this economy,
might as well.
This isn't taking off anytime soon.
I was like, oh, maybe I should just start doing something else. Like, I maybe need to like just start selling. I like doing my accent videos again. Like, maybe I should just start doing this.
See, to be fair, you would actually make bank.
It's like,
but you just don't call people.
But no doing that again. Like I was like,
that's terrifying.
No doing that again. Like I was like end call, block. That's insane.
Can you laugh about it now, or are you?
I don't know.
Okay, I was like, shit.
And I was like, sorry, I need 5 minutes. No, I'm on it. Like,
yeah, sorry. Can I just gonna leave?
We're all good. But
no, that's
like
mad.
But then I like never realised like lot of kinks and stuff. So I cosplay Princess Peach.
Oh God, people are sick.
And then folk were like, can you like sit down in your dress? Like, so obviously it's a really puffy dress.
Oh my God, no.
And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll do it. And then I didn't make a video of me like sitting down in it, but I was like just I made a video of me like sitting in it. And then, what was it? Like I saw this TikTok video being like, for all Princess Peach cosplayers are like princess cosplayers, don't do this, because this is actually something that like men get after, is you like sitting down in your dress. And I was like, oh my God, no way. I was like, how did I like no ken? Like,
I mean, how would it's as innocent as sitting down in a dress, but as soon as you said it, I was like, I know where this is going, because men are sick.
Like, I was just like, that is insane. And then it was this trend where it was like, you put like a boot on your head, and it's like a transition to where it's like technically you standing in your head and you're on your makeup and that.
Okay.
So this was like back in I think 2020, and I was like, I'm going to do this a funny, and I had my heels on, but I had a gingerbread in the flare, and then like I went to stand on it, folk were like, what is it, where is this going? I was in Lord Farquaad, and then somebody DM me being like, can you please make this again in your bare feet and actual stomping on it, and I'll give you this and this. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do it, man.
How much have people offered you to like do stuff for them?
I get like 5k to like send voice things at me, but then I'm like, there's no way I can do that. I just don't have that in me.
5k.
But then I'm like, is it
5k? It's fucking wild.
It's insane.
You should take like a deposit.
Like,
take like half, but like send me half now and send me the other half later.
And then I'm like, well, I feel like my audio goes on TikTok.
But what would you even be saying?
I don't know. They just want like something sensual. Like they want me to make it up, and I was like, I can't improv this. I was like, maybe give me a script. Let me work on it.
I'll do it for you. Fucking get that 5k, girl. What are you doing? If someone sent me that and all I had to do was like, you smell so nice right now, I'd be like,
I can't, like, I don't have that in me.
Oh, I definitely have it in me.
No. I'd be like,
I mean, I wouldn't do anything more than that. Like, already when I was 19 and I sent pictures of my feet, that was like really pushing it. And then I like low-key got scammed, and the boy that I was seeing at the time sent like a pathetically worded threatening message to the guy, and the guy was like, fuck off. And I was like, yeah, you're not Big Daddy, are you? Jesus Christ. Anyway, so I think after that, yeah, I was just like, oh, whatever, like, men are trash. But like, if someone said, I'll send you 5k to send me like you just talking to me, you'd be daft not to.
I don't have it.
But I mean, like, unless they're telling me to say like really like awful things, like, you know, like
that's the thing. Like, you genuinely don't know where it would go.
Be yeah, like, exactly. I'll do this, like, if I was just having a conversation, I'd be like keen. But like, I'm not gonna say.
And
like,
the thing is, like, I remember when I just said that making content, my dress and all that get leaked, and I
your
was like,
dress got
my
leaked.
dress get leaked, and like info me, like, and I was like, it was on TikTok.
Ooh,
luckily though, like, this is the thing.
Fuck?
So I reported it, being like, oh, this and this and this, and like, it's taken down like offer quickly.
People leaked your address.
So and this is a thing, like, I've got other siblings and all that. Like, I was just like so feared for them. Like, see if it was just me, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like, I wouldn't care. I was like, fucking bring it, man. Like, I was actually, like,
I dare you to
show
like,
up.
honestly, do it, please.
Literally, like, but I think just because I'm still staying at home with my other siblings, I was like, no, I can't like it like that. Like, it's like, oh, if I freak me out, it's like, no, I'm just like fear to interact with like anybody. Because that's the thing as well, though. It's like, I feel like we don't talk enough about internet safety. And like interacting with minors as well, because folk are like, oh, just like send me a DM on Instagram. I was like, you don't know their age. Like, I feel like a lot of creators don't know that there's a power imbalance. And I'm like, see if these young wains think that they can just DM any creator, they're gonna DM the wrong one and something's gonna happen for it. So I always say, like, you need to look at me as like, know your pal. You need to look at me as like, I'm just here to like entertain you.
You
and that,
don't
like,
know me.
You don't know me. And like, you need to have that mindset with every creator that you watch.
They can share as much as they want, but they are a stranger to you. Like, you think that that you know them, but like they could be putting on a persona.
Because I used to always like answer folks' DMs, oh, thank you so much for supporting. And then like, how are you? And I wouldn't answer, and they're like, oh, so you think you're getting too big now? You think you're getting too big? And I was like, no, like, I don't know, like, I literally don't know who you are. Like, I can't like have like a conversation with you every day. And this was like 30 folk that would be like this. So I was like, oh, I feel like I'm disappointing these people, but I also don't want these people thinking that it's all right to like message creators and thinking that I should just like have like create a relationship with them, because that is unsafe for you and for me. Like, we need to like look at it as like, I'm only like here to create content for you and you to enjoy it. But I feel like some creators are just like making it out like, oh, we're all best pals, like we're family here, but then that creates like a really unsafe environment.
Yeah, completely.
Because like, what if that creator F's up and they need to be held accountable, but like they're creating these folk to be like, oh no, that's fine, like it's fine, like you don't know them like I do. It's like,
fan bases are weird as fuck, and I think one fan base to look at is Taylor Swift's fan base. They scare me, and I'm sorry like to any like Swifties. And like, there's some that are just like literally just like normal fans, but some of them take it to a complete extreme.
Crazy how much folk defend these billionaires. Insane. That's crazy to me.
Like, riles me up so much. It infuriates me beyond belief. Like, you can't keep defending someone when the evidence is there just because you like their music and you have some twisted idea of them in your head, and you've like glamorized them, like completely glorified, and you put them on this mad pedestal. They are human beings. Human beings fuck up, but these people have money beyond belief and power beyond belief, and they have the power to make a lot of changes.
I think it literally takes one statement to say something about it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
post it on your Instagram. You have the power that woman has is insane.
It made me go like crazy that folk couldn't say genocide is bad. Like, I was like, no way, like,
genuinely. And like, I'm not just calling out Taylor Swift. Like, she's just the first example that I use, and I think a lot of people shit on her because she's also a woman. Like, there's no way that like that's not involved, and she is very talented. But it's just all celebrities in general. And I want to ask you, like, how do you, like, as a creative yourself with like a platform of 2 million people, how do you feel about talking about these sorts of things?
I definitely want to say I'm the perfect activist. Like, I'm very like new into that kind of journey, being an activist, but it's also, I want my following to know where I stand. I want to create a space where
it's not up for debate. You're not going to assume where I stand. You know, and
I've always like I've actually always been like political. It was like the last Scottish election as well. I was speaking about the Tories, and it was in lockdown where I went on a massive rant about, it was like when the Tory government like cut school funds, like it was for like free school meals for kids, and I just went and like, oh, you shouldn't be speaking about this because you don't know what you're talking about. But I'm just like, how do I need to know what I'm talking about to say that this is wrong? And a pandemic, this is why the pandemic was happening. Folk like Wayne's didn't have like hot meals at home. I was like, why is this up for debate that I can't, like, I don't want you thinking that I can't say anything. I don't want you also thinking that, well, I've only got like 10 followers, I shouldn't say anything.
It doesn't matter.
Let people know where you stand though. Like, I feel like that's so important.
I literally have like a tiny platform, and I like made a video on TikTok about like how disgusting it is, like seeing the amount of people that just don't stand up, and like that's the bare minimum. I made one fucking video.
Like, that's like, I try and protest as much as I can. I'm protesting safety October. Also, this was even folk were like, "Why are you speaking about Palestine?" When that wasn't even the first time I spoke up about Palestine. I've spoken about Palestine before.
This is not a new thing.
This is not a new
didn't
thing.
just happen in October.
When we were in the pandemic, it was like we were all politically aware. It was like known to be politically aware, to keep up with the government, and people were like, actually, the government are treating us shitty. Like this, it was like everybody had to be politically aware, and we had this mindset because like even I see in TikTok, oh my god, I remember my 2020 political phase. I was like, this wasn't meant to be a phase. You were always meant to.
Political phase,
like,
it's crazy.
It's insane. Like, see when I saw it, I was
You
like,
should.
they were like,
Everyone should be politically aware. It's literally just life.
Literally.
It is everything you do in life is like governed. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like.
It's no. I don't think it's cool.
It's not cool to be politically aware. It's just
I'm just
normal.
uneducated. Then literally educate yourself.
Oh my
like there's
God.
so many other creators out there that are speaking more about it, and like it's insane to me that folks still use that excuse. I just like don't know. No, you choose to don't know.
Are there any creators that annoy you, that piss you off, that you know personally, that don't use their platforms correctly?
No,
Paul Black.
Paul Black. No, it's like I think I always just block people.
Oh,
I
really?
always
You're a
like
big
I just
blocker?
like I'm a big blocker.
Love.
I'm just like if
You and your 2
I remember
million
like one of
followers.
my mutuals made a post like I just completely didn't agree with, and like I just said like look, just I don't agree with this take, and I think it's like really shitty. I'd block them.
Also, it's quite dangerous as well when you have like that much of an influence. Do you still like what you do?
No, really. The same way I used to. That's why I go like I went and get like another job just because like I stopped taking as much like brand work and stuff because I was like I need to like reflect on like what it is to be a content creator. I think just because especially when I was like, oh well, content creators are different from influencers. Like we like don't influence and that's but so we can just stay out of this and this. But then folk are using that as an excuse not to speak up about anything like political or where they take a stance because like they think they can just make content and no say anything about where they stand. But I just feel like that sets like an unsafe environment because then folk can clash. Like what if like you have somebody like you have a trans pal and you've not set up a safe space and on your account and you've just set like this platform that's like or like everybody's just everywhere and like folks that are being transphobic. What are you going to be like? What are you going to say? Like you're just gonna let them do that? Like no, like I'm gonna say like that is wrong. Like that's folk will say, oh I don't like her because this and this, and then I find out why they don't like me because like they were being homophobic, and I tell them shh, fuck up. So it's like I fell out of love with it because folk are being more silent on things that are such a massive issue in this country.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's quite easy for us to look at other places around the world and be like, oh God, this is awful, this is awful.
And also how we contribute to it as well.
Yeah, and there's so much going on in Scotland. Homelessness is through the roof. Child poverty is at an all-time high.
Transphobia in this country.
There's so much, and people just turn a blind eye to it. I think it's really upsetting. And I'm not surprised that you've fallen out of love with it, especially with how like toxic it's become. But that also makes me really upset because like seeing some of your old videos, you can tell like you're like so good at what you do. Like you're such a natural at it. You're like a natural content creator. You're engaging. You know what I mean? You've got great content.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Can I take a compliment? Like I just like,
it's alright. But it is true. Like, and I really do mean that. And it's sad to see someone that like used to love it so much like fall out of love with it because of like how toxic it's become.
I feel like maybe I just didn't realise how toxic it was.
So what's your second job?
I'm a barista.
Love.
'Cause that's the thing, like obviously I would go back into working in early years in a heartbeat, but I'd need to go private. I'd need to shut
You're
it
not
all
ready
down.
for that yet.
And I'm not ready for that. Like,
what would you like to do?
no idea. Like I'm literally like I have no idea what I want to do. I think as well like last year when I was just a full-time content creator, I developed like really bad anxiety. Off a bad anxiety. I think because I was like just constantly making content and I wasn't doing anything
You're really
else.
putting yourself out there. It's a vulnerable thing to do. And like I said, it's a lucky job because like it's just insane.
Oh,
like to have a job like that. But it does come with its like with cons. Like you do expose yourself more. You put yourself in a vulnerable position, and like it can trigger like a lot of anxiety.
And that's the thing, like I just wasn't socialising with anybody. Like all my pals have like moved away because they're all like in creative jobs, so they're like, oh well, I'm gonna go to London, I'm gonna go to America, I'm gonna do this. So like all my pals like run the way me. My wee sister moved to uni, and I was just like myself constantly, so I developed like social anxiety, but I never knew it was anxiety. So like I was so feared to leave the house, and then like my heart like kept like racing like constantly, and then I was like, I'm dying. This is it. This is it. So I went to the doctors and they're like, you're just anxious. So I was like, oh no, like I don't know how to deal with this, and trying to like balance content creating but like no socialising, no doing anything outside the content, and just thinking about like what's the next best thing today. I was just like, I can't like live like this. I was like, I need to take a step.
Feel now?
A bit better. I think as well it's just like with TikTok changing, and especially it might be getting banned in America.
Bollocks, it won't happen.
So like, and it's like TikTok shop is you need to be able to do TikTok shop. You should be posting 1 minute content. You need to like, you've now get like set rules, and like see, even as a cosplayer, see if you showed like a baseball bat, like my videos get taken down. My account get permanently banned. Like, so I went onto like it was like posted content, and then I went on and it was like, you have been logged out. If you need to like set, like you need to be able to, I had so many strikes against my name, even if it had been appealed, that's still a strike. So I could did a video with like a baseball bat, and it's like, this is violence, and I could like appeal it being like this, it's no, it's like fake. But even like now they've changed that, like how you appeal a video, you just have to like click a button being like, it's no, and they could like say, well, it is, and it's no. So
and you got banned.
I get banned. Like I was like, so you've got, I think it was like 30 days to appeal. So, but I never read it properly, so I was like, oh, I still have my account. So I clicked accept, I get shut out, and I've got a second account. So I was like, I'll go see if I can see it. It wasn't there. I was like, how I was greeting like this happened. I think it was like last February it happened.
But you got it back.
And then I was like, oh my god, it's over. But I sent an appeal. And I got it back.
Thank God.
Thank
but no
God.
wonder you're not enjoying it. It's taking the fun out of it.
No, literally, like it's
so,
like,
see if like you could do cosplay full time, would you do it?
100%.
And would you move?
I don't know where I'd move to, because I really want to love Scotland. Like I say, I love Scotland. I really want to love it.
I love Scotland. It's just the opportunities are shit.
Exactly.
There's nothing here
there
for us.
There's literally nothing
but
here.
Then we need to create these opportunities. It's very, very, very difficult. It's really, really difficult. But like,
it's difficult because when you're also growing, but you also need to think, well, I need to make these opportunities for myself. So it's like, right, I'll grow my own platform, but I also need to help do this and do this.
You want to help, but you're also like, I need to also think about myself here. It's a difficult one.
And that's the thing with cosplaying, that's no big here. Like it just will not be big here. It's like big in like America, and even England. It's like so much. See, going to London Comic Con compared to an Edinburgh one, insanely different.
So
like London, everybody dresses up. Everybody's like, oh, it's like amazing. And then I went to Edinburgh Comic Con, and me and my pal did Star Wars, and they went as Ahsoka. So that character is like fully orange. So they painted themselves fully orange. I'm like in Rey, so mine's like quite subtle, but we're walking about with these like big lightsabers, and like you have to drive to it. So we like the car park's like, it's like in the Highlands Centre. So it's like you have to park in a field and walk along, and nobody's dressed up. I'm like,
what? The cringe culture here needs to come to an end.
Honestly, we need to get out of it. We need to get out of it.
Shit. What advice would you give for someone who wants to get into cosplay here and into like content creating in Scotland?
Literally just do it. Like just do it. If you want to like, if you want to do cosplay to just go to conventions, then just do that. You don't have to make content, because a lot of folk now feel like, especially with cosplay, it's like, I need to make content when I'm in cosplay. But you don't need to do that. You can literally just go and like go to conventions, meet up with pals, like. But to become like a content creator, you just need to get over the cringe. I think maybe it's because I went to Auckland, like, you get bullied for anything. Yep. You just get like it ripped at you for anything that you did. I remember I loved space buns, and I used to wear them all the time. I'd get like, I remember I used to love Marvel. Obviously Marvel's big now, but like when I liked it, it was just like when Iron Man and all that was coming out, when the movies were just starting to come out, and it was seen as like weird. You just like, you just need to think what anybody else,
because no one cares. No one actually does care.
And that's, you also can't please everybody, and you don't want to please everybody either.
You just need to be happy in yourself.
Exactly. Just be confident.
What would you like to see change in Scotland?
Just more creative opportunities for online creators, because I feel like we do have some creative opportunities for like people who want to do like TV and like acting and stuff. But like kind of I was like saying how in Ayrshire like matches just became a massive thing. See in Scotland, I feel like online creating, it's just became a massive thing in here. Like I went to an event, it was meant to be like for a Scottish event, and it was like 4 creators were Scottish at it, and I was like, I'm at a Scottish event and we've only got 4 creators, and I was like, oh well, you should maybe ask them, and I was like trying to get as many names as I could, and like I was looking at who like I followed.
It's hard to break into though, because like I'm finding it hard. I feel like I'm like outside of this circle, like trying to break in, but I'm also like, I'm not gonna fucking beg you. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna like beg for you to let me into your little creative circle. Literally, and like I'm not about like the last thing I want to be seen as a beg. Like fuck that
no,
shit.
I'm the same. I'm like
fuck that.
I feel like
that's why like we feel like we need to make opportunities for ourselves. It's a difficult one, and like I want to make changes in Scotland, but
listen, like why do we have to be the ones? I was like, why?
But then also I'm like, think about the amount of people that we could open doors for, and like I feel like I would like die happy knowing that I did that.
Aye.
Oh God, I feel quite emotional.
No.
What the fuck? I actually feel so emotional. But like, we should do something.
We should do it.
100%. Honestly, Millie, this has been a really, really refreshing conversation. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm more relaxed now. I was fucking shitting myself. Like, I've not even had a coffee because I was like, I'm going to shit myself. Like, do you know when you get nervous? I'm going to shit. Have a coffee, I'm going to shit. I was like, the combo. No.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I've been holding in a shit since I've had that coffee. Sorry.
I couldn't like, go drink a coffee. No, I can't.
Stop it. Millie, thank you so much. I've loved this, and I'm excited to see what we could do.
So am I. We're gonna get something done. We're gonna be trailblazers.
We are. Oh my God, I've loved this. Thanks, Millie.
No problem. Do you have to say bye at the end of the podcast?
You can say bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. See you later.
See you later. Oh.